Hello everyone, and welcome to Daily Dose of Hope Day 284. Nice to meet you and nice to see you again. So, a Daily Dose of Hope is an attempt to help you all stay the middle path as the energies on our planet are increasing and will start to increase even more these days. And so that's what this, I was guided to do this back in February. And when we started, we were still in a bit of a lull. It seems as though, at least from my experience in the past few years, um, that all of this stuff tends to like go like a roller coaster. It goes up and it goes down, and then there's a bit of a lull period just to prepare our minds for everything. Because this is a process. That's what's happening. This is a process, and uh, that's what I wanted to talk about today is the process. Usually a Daily Dose of Hope has three parts. We go into a bit of a sharing, and then a bit of a channeling and a pocket of peace. And recently I'm just cutting that short now. I guess just, I'm a little bit kind of under the weather, I guess. Not really under the weather, but I'm not 100%. I'm like 85%, whatever that means. Um, but what I wanted to talk a little bit was just about the process. So for example, there's two ways of dealing with this whole process, right? One way is just blocking everything that's happening out of your mind, like, I don't see anything, it's not there, that's one way. And then the other process is seeing everything and processing it all, trying to process everything. And I think both of them there's just two ways of, just dealing with anything on this planet. But for me, the process of dealing with all of this stuff, like seeing everything, and really trying to understand how everything works, is kind of helpful for me, because I've been curious for the longest time, because my life, my world, nothing seemed to make sense. Like, I always question, well, why is that like that? That shouldn't be like that. And so for me, it's just my eyes are so wide open after everything that's happened these past few years. But that being said, it's really important not to get into the trenches. Like, I think that for me, that's really important, to not like kind of like, this is the way it's supposed to be. No, this is right. This is wrong. This guy, um, and I have, fallen many times. But I think it's so important to really take a step back and just see it all playing out. And we don't, and just follow the tenet of the Course in Miracles, that we don't really know what anything's for. It seems like it's for this reason, but it could be completely different. And so that's my kind of take on it. And so these past few years, what I've come to realize is that everything that has been happening it's like an education. It's a gentle revealing, pulling back the veil. This is what the world has been up until this point. And so that's kind of my worldview, I guess, my way of looking at everything that's happening. I don't want to hide from it anymore. I don't want to look away from it. It's if something is hard to see, then it's hard to see, but it doesn't mean you should look away. I think that's the kind of idea, and just to understand that there are many different things on this planet. Now, everyone's got their own job in this ascension, and I'm not recommending anyone to do that. I'm just saying that that's my position. I'm just trying to shine light into these areas that need more light. And that's just but not to go into the trenches and fight about it, but just to give light to it and try to hold space for both sides. And I find that understanding where this, so that's what it is. For me, it's a story. It's a giant story of all these different movies playing together. And then within the movies, there's all these little nuggets of wisdom that you can pick up if you're kind of watching it. And the way that I kind of think about it, it's like The Matrix, the Matrix movie. It's kind of old now, so for many younger people, they haven't watched it, or if they know about it, they haven't watched. Yeah, I don't know it's like Star Wars. A lot of the younger people don't get into Star Wars for some reason. Um, but yeah, within Matrix though, there was this, the way that they saw the Matrix. Like we see the Matrix as, there's a light here, there's a wall here, there's a Chinese pipa guitar there, there's a drum, but when you actually see it from the outside, it just looks like these lines of codes, and the code actually looks a lot like kanji, like Chinese kanji or Japanese kanji. But so it's kind of like reading that code. It's kind of like you're kind of taking a step back and all the codes just going around. And it looks like there's all these things happening. This person's saying that, this person's doing that. But if you kind of take a step back and kind of try to read all the kanji or read all of the words that are kind of floating down, the computer program behind it, and, nah, maybe this is all about that, And that's kind of the way I look at it. I don't want to, I mean, I do, I get into the details because I'm curious. I'm trying to unravel a thread. Like there are all these different threads in the stories, and they're all kind of playing out together, and they all seem to be different stories, but then after a while they all kind of meld into one story. And so it's one of the most amazing stories ever. So for me, I don't want to miss it. I feel like 100 years from now, or something, great grand, or maybe, if I ever have great grandchildren and I'm alive, and they say, so what was it like then, and I'm just like, oh, I don't know, I wasn't paying attention. It's like, what? That was the most amazing time on the planet. um so yeah, that's kind of my take on it. But again, as I said, I think we all have different roles to play. And so mine, I think I found this is the role that I'm playing, where I'm seeing all the stories and I'm sending love out into it. And I'm trying to understand that they're all, uh, that it's all good. It's all beautiful. It's all the story of our world at this moment. And all the, up until this point, we live in a yin and yang universe, and up until this point, there's been a complete denial of the fact of that. Like, no, there's no yin and yang. There's just the one side, and everything's beautiful, and just stop talking, And but for me, it's just like, oh no, understanding that, and understanding that there's a balance, and that all these things kind of play out in a certain way, and also that there's a balance, so that in every situation, the darkest situation, there's always light there as well. Is something to always understand, even though you can't even see it. Like everything is built on love, everything's built on light. And so this type of kind of way of looking at the world through the lens of this yin and yang symbol, and then understanding that in the middle there's that line, and we can walk that line in between. We don't have to be all one side, all the other side, put all our eggs in one basket, or whatever expression you want to say, but we can just walk that middle path and be in peace and try to make our own story, because that's what we're here to do, right? We're making our own story. Like here I am, making my story. I'm here making my story. I'm writing my music. I'm writing my stories. I'm channeling. I'm trying to make my own story, and as all of you are as well. And you have your natural talents and your natural abilities, and just we're just trying to peacefully walk through it, not try to push anything, but just follow our hearts, like I followed my heart just to come on. Yeah. So I guess, and I don't know what this is about or where it's going, and that's fine. All I know is that everything has a purpose, and the purpose is for all of us. So there we go. Hey Kioni, you say, could you take a message from Frigga today? I think Frigga wants to channel through you, and that she was trying to talk to you earlier, but you didn't notice it. And nice day. Thanks, Kioni, but I'm still not comfortable channeling Frigga. I did some research about her, and it was interesting, but I'm not, yeah. I think she appeared in my dream too. But so yeah, I'm not comfortable publicly, like kind of. But I'm gonna go into a channeling, and I'm gonna ask them what they have to say about this. I guess my situation. I know this way that I see. I was channeling. Was it channeling Yeshua or Esmeralda? And they were saying that it's not necessary to see everything, and that it just makes your life a little bit more difficult because you have to do that much more clearing. But I understand that, but I also feel like it's my thing It's just my thing, I guess. But I do have to do a lot of clearing. But anyway, okay, I'm going to go into a channeling and I'm going to ask, yeah, what they have to say about all this. Here you go. Greetings. We are that one that you know, the Saraswati, and we're here, and we're here, and we're here, and we're here, and we're here. And it is a beautiful time to be here. It is a beautiful time to start to tune your frequency. To tune your frequency to the radio station that you would like to hear. And by that, we mean tune it to the frequency that you'd like to be in. You are frequency-based beings. You're all based on frequency. And you can tune your radio dial. Some of you might not even know what a radio dial is, but you can tune that frequency. You can turn your frequency up by turning this way or down by going this way. And this is a beautiful thing that you're able to do. You're able to experience all of the thrills of this planet, all of the highs and all of the lows and all of the in-betweens. And even that thing that you call boredom, which we think is a funny idea. The idea that there is something called boredom when you are experiencing one of the most amazing experiences available on your planet, when everything is available for you all at once, and you created boredom. How amazing is that? How creative all of you are. And what we would like to say today, though, is about that what frequency would you like to tune to? And there is no judgment on anyone's part, or any being's part, or even on your creator's part. Your creator loves you, whatever frequency you choose. But we would ask you, what frequency are you on? Are you on the frequency of love? Are you on the frequency of fear? Are you on the frequency of pain? Are you on the frequency of boredom? What frequency are you at? Ask yourself this question, and the answer will be revealed to you. And then the next question is, do you really want to be at that frequency? And if the answer is yes, then beautiful. But if the answer is no, then just change the frequency. And you might ask us, how do we change our frequencies? And we would say it's simple. Pay attention to your thoughts and maintain thoughts that remain on one of the frequencies. And the reason that we're bringing this up is because this being, by diving down into different frequency, he is frequency surfing is the word that we would use for it. He is surfing the frequencies up and down and up and down. And this is a process. This is a process that many of you like to do. You surf down and then you surf up and you surf down. But what we would say again and again and again to this being and to all of you out there, that it isn't necessary. It's not a necessity thing, even as this being assumes that it is his necessity. He has surfed all of those frequencies enough. There isn't really much for him to understand. He understands now that there are only two choices, love or fear, and that is what all of these stories boil down to. They boil down to a choice between love or fear. It is the genre of love or the genre of fear, and that is it. It is very simple in that sense. But those of you, yes, even this being will still, even after he hears this, will still continue to frequency surf. And for those that are frequency surfing, what we would say is it's very important in these times to maintain the higher frequency as much as possible. All right. Frequency surfing! Woohoo! So anyway, Keone, thanks for joining in on the live chat, and thanks everyone else for listening that's here now and will be here in the future and in the past. And as they say, go beach! And yeah, I hope you guys are hopeful. What should I say? I have some stuff below. If you're interested, you want to know more about me or what I do, it's all down below. Down below. Whoa. Forgive me, I'm a bit, yeah. All right, so anyway, I hope you guys are hopeful, and ciao for now.